Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. And yes, Tesla and NIO are bad. And this video is to challenge you in regards to, is your trading strategy safe? And I want you to be honest with yourself as I go through the topics here, because there is no doubt in my mind that a lot of people's trading strategy, because of Tesla, because of NIO, is not safe. And I'm going to explain what I mean here in great detail and show you exactly what I mean. But I also am self-aware enough. I've been around since 2013. This is not my first rodeo, as I'll talk about, or maybe that you're looking at on the screen right now. But I realize that I'm going to come across as bitter, as jealous, as a hater towards people that have been having success with Tesla and NIO. I understand. I get it, Clay. You're just saying all this because you're jealous that you haven't made as much money as I have or as that person has with Tesla and NIO. And I understand that. I really do. But all I would ask is, while I understand it, I would ask maybe for you to try to understand my perspective. And again, that perspective being somebody that's been around for a while, somebody that's been doing this since 2013, this being YouTube. I mean, I've traded even longer than that. And on the screen here, and this is actually where I got the idea for the video, but you can see I had a recent comment and somebody left it on this video right here, which you can see, you know, the bigger screenshot down below there. And it says, "Hello, Clay, you were right back then. What would you say about the current situation on, Bitcoin, marijuana stocks, and EV?" And I'm not going to go through all of them but it all does apply. But the point here being, and this is not some sort of like ego trip. I'm not trying to sit here and say, see, I was right. I'm just trying to actually throw out there that just consider that I've talked about this topic before, and as this person has observed and noted, I turned out to be right. And again, I don't say that in a condescending way. I don't say that in a way like I have it all figured out. I just say it in a way of, please just realize that I'm not being a hater. I'm not jealous. I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to just iron sharpens iron. And I want you to question yourself in terms of, okay, is this what I've been doing? And if you're saying, yeah, I'm being honest with myself, this is how I've been trading, this is how I've been, making money off of NIO and Tesla, then I'm telling you right now, your strategy is not safe. It's working right now, but it is not safe. And the idea here, and what I want to try to get across, is that bad habits are not good. That's the obvious. But here's the not obvious. And when you're new, when you're a beginner trader and you don't know what you don't know, one part that a lot of people don't realize is that, and the financial markets are very bizarre in this way, is they will reward bad behavior. For example, I love to use this analogy. If you go up and touch a hot stove, that's bad behavior. But you know what? Every single time you do that, you will get burned. You will feel pain. Every single time. A hot stove does not reward bad behavior. But in trading, in investing, and I'm talking day trading or swing trading, the markets do reward bad behavior. And that is what is going on right now with Tesla and NIO, just bad behavior over and over again being rewarded. So right here, I have now on my screen the Tesla daily chart. I just want to go through the history of Tesla. And like I said, if this is how you've been making money, if this is how you've been trading it, then yeah, your strategy is just not going to be safe, because this is exactly how people traded those other stocks that I just showed you that I offered up a warning to. And that person was saying, hey, Clay, you were actually right about that. And it's the same exact thing, rinse, repeat. It's happening once again. So let's go through this area on Tesla. Let's actually think about this. There were people on Tesla that were buying up here. They were buying, and then you can see from here, it dropped, and it dropped, and it dropped. And guess what? It dropped even more. Crazy, crazy drop all the way down there. And now think about what happened. Let's do this. That green line represents where those people bought. They bought the very top right there at 76. So let's just go through time. Go through time again. They're still underwater, getting close. And then just like that, look what happens. They ultimately made money. Think about how nasty of a pullback, how big of a move down they just held through. But you know what? Guess what? Holding and hoping in that situation, it worked. But let's keep on going. So let's think about this. Look at there. So here's another situation. Tesla going bonkers. People bought right there. And now look at this pullback. I mean, this is crazy. From here all the way down, has kept on dropping. And ballpark, $200 down below 100. So that's a 50% decline against them that some people were holding through. And I mean, that's a big decline, right? 50%. But let's see what happened. Holding through a 50% decline, and look at that. All of a sudden, those people are making money. So let's keep on going. Now here's to a little lesser of an extent, right? Those same people could have, said, all right, I'm going to get out. So those same people could have bought right there. And this one wasn't nearly as drastic with no 50% pullbacks, but still a pretty big pullback from chasing the price, buying at the high, and then just holding and hoping. Guess what? That green line once again proved that, hey, they got bailed out. They made money. And then again, check that out. People could have chased. People could have gotten bought all the way up there. And then look at that big pullback. I mean, these are crazy, crazy pullbacks. I mean, we were talking about multiple hundreds of dollars in very small amounts of time. I mean, this occurred in basically a week. But you know what? People that held and hoped. I kind of just chased. I FOMO'd, fear of missing out. I bought the top. But you know what? That's all right. People that bought the top, once again, were bailed out. They would have actually made money. So you can see here in that situation, could have made a lot of money. And that is where Tesla is at right now. Tesla is at this high. And as of the recording of this video, you can see that there is a little miniature pullback. Now, not much, but you get the idea. And I understand. The joke right now at the recording of this video is, hey, it's Tesla. All it does is go up. And you know what? You're right. It seems like all Tesla does is go up. And you just saw about 5 examples there where you could have literally bought at the worst possible spot with no strategy, nothing. You could have been total FOMO, buying at the top, but holding it and hoping would have worked out. And you would have made good money in all those situations. But FOMOing, chasing the price, just randomly buying when everybody's excited, and then having the price drop and drop and drop and drop against you, and then saying, well, it'll go back up. It'll go back up. That's not a good habit. That is a strategy that eventually is not going to work. In other words, your strategy is not safe, because I get it. In the heat of the moment, it feels like Tesla will never, ever start to act normal again. It feels like Tesla will always just be going up. And it's always just going to be able to just buy, hold, and hope, and eventually it'll go back up. But eventually that's not going to happen. And again, I don't reference back to say, and I was right about, I just want you to know that I've done this before, and I get with this video, I'm going to get a bunch of negative feedback. You're a hater, you're jealous. Same like I did on that other video. But here we now have hindsight, and there was somebody, again, which spurred the idea for this video, that was saying, hey, Clay, man, you were right. Like, exactly that warning that you offered, people got absolutely crushed, because that buying randomly, buying with FOMO, fear of missing out, and then holding and hoping, that worked for a time, but that strategy was no longer safe, and so much so that it ultimately led people to get absolutely destroyed. So here we are now looking at NIO, and let's go through this one. Again, another just, you got to give credit where credit due, a monster stock. But I mean, think about the strategies that you could have used that would have been profitable. So in this situation, same thing as Tesla. Big move up. And people FOMO'd, people, got caught up in the excitement, and they bought. Quite literally bought the top and then had it drop in the same day a crazy amount. And when you're talking about a sub $5 stock and something drops $1 against you, I mean, that's a really big percentage. And then not only that, it wasn't over. It just kept on going and dropped all the way down there. But again, let's use that green line. So that represents like the worst entry point possible. But even with the worst entry point possible, you can see those people would have ultimately made money. And then right here, again, think about it. Those people could have gotten, okay, all right, I'm out for break even, or I'm out for a small gain. Oh, wow, this thing's breaking again. They could have literally bought the top once again. And then they would have had to hold and hold and hold, hold and hold and hold. And look at that. Nasty move to the downside. Let's actually do this, because there's another group of people. So I'll change the colors here. But this other group of people could have potentially bought right there, right? Oh, look at this thing. I mean, have you done this before? Be honest with yourself. Oh, look at this big gap up. It's gapping up. I'm buying on that gap up because it's so strong. And then even from that point, down it's gone. So now we have 2 potential really terrible entry points. But let's keep on going. And you can see just like that, kaboom, both of those entry points would have turned profitable. So let's keep on going. And you can see right here, just a crazy, crazy move to the upside. But then once again, right here, crazy, crazy move to the upside. And you could have had people getting caught up in the excitement. And I can, easily see that. All right, if it breaks above 16, let me get in. It breaks above 16 and they get in somewhere up around there. And then look at that nasty pullback from 16 all the way down to almost 10. Again, let's just call it $5 per share on basically a $15 stock. That's a big percentage. That's a large amount. You're letting the price go against you. But hey, holding and hoping, holding and hoping. And then you can see eventually there, those people would have made money. So let's just keep on going through the history of things. And you can see just the breakout continues. The breakout continues. And then you had that movement. So again, think about it. People would have gotten up there, bought up around that area, and then had the price pull back and pull back. And again, that's a very significant pullback. But hey, holding and hoping, and there it goes again, up to where it's at presently. Again, did you make money in one of those things where you got a little excited, you got caught up in the hype, and then you had to sit through a whole lot of pain, you had to sit through a whole lot of red? And if you're an investor, that's much different. But if you're a trader and you're going in saying, I'm going to trade this, and then, I didn't quite, okay, well, I'm going to hold now. If you're a trader that then in your mind rationalizes becoming an investor, that's not how it works. That's just, you need to stick with what you're doing. Now, I realize that sounds ironic. What do you mean, Clay, that doesn't work? It's worked for me a whole bunch of times. And you know what, Clay? I've made a lot more money than you have. I know. This is a very hard position I am when you're trying to warn people that are making money and trying to tell them that their strategy is not safe when that strategy has been producing gains. I don't know if it's even possible to make the winning argument other than the fact of that's why I started this whole video out saying this is not the first time I've covered this topic. I've covered it a few years ago, and the only difference now is at least you can apply hindsight to what I talked about previously, because I get it. When you watch this video, there's not going to be any hindsight, right? But if you watch the other video, you can apply hindsight and you'll see exactly what I mean. But for those of you that are being open-minded enough and saying and being honest, just keep in mind that if you've been behaving badly, and in deep down, if you've told yourself one thing, but then all of a sudden it doesn't go in your favor and it goes against you, and then you ultimately hold for a whole lot longer than what you were thinking you were going to hold. Good. I'm glad you're making money, but please just question and realize that eventually NIO, Tesla, everything else will begin to act normal. I'm not saying any of this. I'm not saying NIO, Tesla's going bankrupt. I'm not saying any of that at all. All I'm saying is that eventually the stocks will behave normally. They're not going to go straight up all the time, or they're not going to make those crazy downwards movements, and then all you got to do is hold them for a few weeks or a few months, and then all of a sudden you're back in the green. Eventually, they will act normal. And that doesn't mean that you can ever make money from them again, but it does mean that you're going to have more of a precise strategy than just buy randomly, buy when you're caught up in the excitement, and then hold and hope. That won't be good enough at some point. I don't know when that point is coming, but it's going to come because that's just the nature of the market. The nature of the market is that eventually stocks act normal. But here's the tricky part is because nobody knows, myself included, when those stocks do begin to act normal, that's when the beginner traders, that's when people find out that their strategy is not actually safe. And you find out that it's not safe by just either watching all your gains drift away or else you get stuck, known as a bag holder, because the price ultimately never comes back up. And you're sitting there trying to say, yeah, I'm a trader, but you're going to ultimately hold the same stock for months and months and months and potentially years and years. And who knows if it'll ever come back up. And that happened. In fact, I'm just going to do this right now. Let's just go with TLRY because that was one of those stocks that I warned about. And it is actually showing some life here, but let's just go through the history when I was doing these warning videos. And I mean, look at TLRY. You could have acted very badly during this movement right here. Dips. This thing went up and hit as high as $300. $300 back in 2018. Wow, time flies. But you can see from $300, and the price has just drifted, and it's never even come close to that. Let alone, I mean, you could have had people, well, I didn't buy for 300. Okay, fine. Maybe people got caught up in the excitement and bought right there. Maybe they thought this was finally the turnaround, or maybe they thought that was the turnaround and they bought. Maybe thought that was, or that was, and you get the point. But any of those points, the price has never come up anywhere close to those. And who knows, maybe it will at some point. But again, that was 2 years ago. And if you're saying that you're a trader, Well, then traders don't hold on to positions for 2 years when it supposedly started off as some sort of day trader, short-term swing trade. So just keep that in mind. And even if this video helps one person, kind of maybe gets the light bulb to go off and say, maybe my strategy isn't as safe as I think I do, or as I think it is. Maybe this isn't actually a viable longer-term thing. Then I'll consider this a success. But I also realize that it's just very hard to, explain to people that the strategy that they're using is not actually a valid strategy when the strategy is making them money. So I've done my best. Hopefully I've at least opened the eyes of one or two people, but it is what it is. So if you found this video helpful, maybe if I have opened your eyes, let me know in the comment section. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of hater, you're jealous. I know. I know. I really do. All I can really do is laugh about it, because if I put myself in your shoes, I understand where you're coming from. But like I said, if you do enjoy videos like this, if you would like for me to make more videos like this, mainly, like I said, thank you for the suggestion for this video. So I do read comments. So if you have suggestions for other videos or anything like that, please leave those down below. I'll definitely consider doing a video on those. And sometimes the best ideas come from the comment section there. So, definitely leave comments below. If you enjoy the video, just hit that like button. And also check out the channel as a whole. If you like what you see, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I would love to have you as a subscriber to the channel. But please, really be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you sure your trading strategy is safe? Because I'm telling you, Tesla and NIO are oh so bad right now, because they are creating so many bad habits out there for newer traders. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up, as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.